These were the US-backed anti-government mobs in Bangkok, Thailand this weekend. This was supposed to be a major rally, but as you can see, hardly anybody showed up. And this has been a huge problem for the US-backed opposition for quite some time now. The vast majority of Thai people wholly reject everything these mobs stand for. They know full well that the US government is funding the core organizations driving these mobs. They can see what the US has done to other countries doing exactly this in places like Hong Kong, Ukraine, and all across the Middle East. They can also see the US-backed billionaire-led opposition here in Thailand. Thanaton's Move Forward and Progressive Movement parties and Thaksin Shinawat's Pheu Thai party. They remember what Thaksin and his party did to this country over the last 20 years, and they don't want that to ever happen again. And they know Thanaton is just a Thaksin Jr. waiting to wiggle his way into power. They don't want that either. But we're still going to have to listen to the Western media and the US Senate, the US government, the US Senate having passed a resolution to openly back these mobs. We're still going to have to listen to all of them tell us that this is a pro-democracy movement when it's actually the exact opposite. It's an unpopular, violent minority trying to impose its unpopular agenda onto the vast majority of the people in this country. Not only that, they're doing it completely outside the rule of law. There's nothing democratic about this at all. Now, the real kicker is this white guy walking around at the protest, and he's wondering why more Thai people didn't come out. Well, Thai people reject this movement. This is a movement that is extremely unpopular. And this is why foreigners should not get involved in the internal political affairs of other countries. But he's a white guy, so he thinks he knows better than Thai people. As a white man, he believes it's the white man's burden to impose his Western ideas onto Thai people because he thinks they can't handle their own affairs on their own, and they should be grateful for his wisdom. But obviously, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He has no idea that the vast majority understand the situation many times more than he does, and that's why they didn't show up. So it's just another reminder of what the West is really all about. It's an example of why the West is in terminal decline, because these people have this kind of mentality. They are unable to function in the world as it is now. They still think this is the 1800s and Britannia rules the waves. Anyway, I thought I would point these few things out. I said I would do an update about the protests. They kind of flopped, so there wasn't that much to cover. I'm going to continue keeping an eye on all of this. And before you say, Brian, aren't you a white guy talking about Thai politics? I talk about US interference in Thailand's politics. I'm an American. What the US government is doing overseas in my name is my business. I have the right to expose it and to oppose it. If you thought the video was useful, please like and share it. Think about subscribing to my channel. It helps the channel grow and it's totally free to do. Check the video description for ways you can help support my work, like by becoming a Patreon member. That will enable me to continue doing this work. And as always, thank you everybody for watching.